and I just want to go like this. I don't want to slap anybody, but I want to slap the air, slap the air, slap it with your back hand, slap it with your front hand, slap it in a way where you don't hurt anybody. Slap if you need to get your frustrations out or anger out and you need to slap someone. Guess what? Use the space around you. Let out those frustration by going, huh. Try it. Huh. Can you do it? So if I'm having a problem with somebody from my past, which I do, I was dating this guy some years ago, and he was just a mean. I use him in my artistic journey so many times when I have to deal with getting to anger, or I have to deal with how do you forgive someone for hurting you. And I'm looking at my character, the actor, but that doesn't do anything for me to evoke the anger. And then you look at the person, and then you're seeing the person right there on the chair. There he is. I see him. I'm not going to name names because it's not polite, even though I don't like being polite. But for now, I'll get to where I'm going to lose more of the politeness and I'll start naming names. What comes to me is the face. The face that is, when I first met him, was really not something to look at, nor was the hair, because it was really a bad cut. It's like for those men out there who have hair only on the sides, if you have hair only on the sides here and you're bald, shave everything. Don't leave this hair. Do not leave this hair on because it makes no sense. If you do shaving of your entire head, and then to substitute for that hair that you don't have, you leave the grown beard that everyone is kind of going with nowadays anyway. It doesn't have to be too long, but it kind of complements the fact that you don't have the bald hair and you have the beard. And it also helps for people, for men who don't have lips. You know, there are men who don't have lips, they have very thin lips. So if you do the beard around that, then the lips will look fuller because you don't see where they end and where they begin. So that's something that I'm also observing from the perspective of an actor. You know, the physical observation of other people is important, the same as the psychological comportment of people is important for actors. The physical comportment of watching other people, so you know what your repertoire is going to be to pull from when you have to go into these characters and you have to make them as human as possible. So that was something that I didn't think I was going to give you. So after he came into my life and he looked horrible when I first met him. I wouldn't say horrible, but he didn't look as good as he looked after he met me. Because I told him to do all of the things that I mentioned. Bald, let's cut the hair that you have just behind your ears and in the back of your head, because you only had like a little bit, and leave the beard so your lips don't look as thin as they were, they look fuller. So he started looking great. And that's when he realized that there were women who were starting to pay attention to him, where before nobody looked at him. So I transformed him physically first, and that physical transformation will inform and will correct and will adjust your inner feelings about how you see yourself. And then the people outside will have different reactions towards yourself, and then you start to be more confident. So everything has to do with transformation from the outside in, from the inside out. It doesn't matter, but it's all, the whole self has to be healed, and the whole self has to be paid attention to as actors, but as people too. So acting teaches us about how to actually create all those things in our lives, in our personal lives.